All right, all right, all right. What's up, folks? We are live. We are live to talk about impeaching Donald Trump. It's time to get rid of him. Time to get the boy up out of here. And I think all the writing is on the wall, especially after today's resignation from the head of counterterrorism. Oh boy, walked away, exposing the president of the United States of Israel, and that being Donald Trump, exposing him in this war and what this war has been about. And that being no other than this Joe Kemp dude, who I hear who is a major, mega supporter, Donald Trump appointee, Donald Trump supporter. He's a knee walker for Donald Trump as well. And now that has come to an end, as his conscience won't allow him to participate in this type of stuff. And the fact with him with the intel and all this other stuff, he's probably watching what's happening in this war that Trump is engaged in, because Donald Trump being so anti-American, not giving two hells about American citizens and his soldiers. This dude conscious can no longer take that, and he walks away. So in the post, he says, after much reflection, I have decided to resign from my position as director of the National Counterterrorism Center effective today. He ain't even give a 2-week notice. He said, I'm out. Close the door. Dump the drawer. I'm walking out. Pull the ride up. I can't deal with this clown no more. He says, I cannot in good conscience support the ongoing war in Iran. Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation. Can I repeat that? Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation. And it is clear that we started this war due to pressure from Israel and its powerful American lobby. Whoa, let me repeat. Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation. And it is clear that we started this war due to pressure from Israel and its powerful American lobby. It has been an honor serving under a POS named Trump and the the DNIG says he talking about Gabby Tober, whatever her name is, and leading the professionals at the National Counterterrorism Center. Man, you talking about opening a lid on some ish. And maybe this dude sees other stuff coming down the pipeline that he said, let me get the hell up out of here before all this shit blow the hell up. And I don't want to be one of the cats in the Nuremberg trial of America, because that's what's going to end up happening, man. And it's time to impeach this fool, get this fool on all this corrupt, fraudulent stuff that he's in here doing. This financial corruption that he has going on. He's plunging the American system into the toilet. He doesn't give one damn about what happens in America as long as his pockets are filled. And it's as simple as that. This is a money play and a bank robbery. This is a treasury robbery is what it is. Go into the treasury and secure everything. The most he's throwing money into is using American tax money to construct new attachments onto the White House that has his signature all over it, to leave a lasting impression that he thinks Americans going to remember him. Americans ain't going to remember Trump for nothing in the positive. Trump will be somebody written out of American history, just like he think he can write out Black history. This DEI shit that he's on. Brandon Washington says, damn, says I'm halfway there, says don't let me lose my $100. Brandon, you already know the writing's on the wall that your boy is out of here. Have that $100 warmed up. I'm gonna collect $100 for you from Trump getting kicked out and from San Antonio making it to the finals. And Velocity Cuss says, what up? Says, happy Saints Patty. Man, don't give me no St. Patty's Day bullshit. I've been seeing all that old stupid ass shit. I've been seeing black people up there fighting for St. Patty's. I've been looking at these old ignorant ass idiots, and I see why black folks get treated like the dumb motherfucking degenerate reject ass idiots they are. Fools in Boston. I even seen some fools in Dallas wearing all that green shit, fighting people on St. Patty's Day. Look, get the fuck out of here. Niggas don't even know what St. Patrick's is. When is that stupid shit? Maybe that's why Trump brought that food. Ain't St. Patty's an Irish holiday or some shit? Maybe that's why Trump brought that food from Ireland, the president of Ireland. But I'll be looking at motherfuckers wearing that stupid ass shit. I wouldn't dare celebrate no shit like that. I don't know nothing about these people holiday. It's like Cinco de Mayo. What I look like celebrating that shit. I don't. And then the Mexicans that's here are idiots for celebrating. Think they gotta get drunk all the damn time. They don't even know the history of that shit. They just think it's to buy some old white American made beer and shit. I swear we live on a planet full of idiots and voluntary idiots. Like people just volunteer to be dumb. My cousin on the building, Deuce Time, says, "What your ass doing home?" Says, "Get your ass to work, boy." He laughing out loud. Man, I told you I took off. They in spring break. They got one more. They just get 1 week. I wish that shit would have been 2. Man, this has been some of the best rest I done got in my life. I've been resting my ass off, man. Shit. So, man, yeah, I've been enjoying these last 2 days. I ain't slept like this in a long time. Much needed. Lassie Cuss says, as a proud American, says I support these statements. Says it's time to get him. Says get him the fuck out of here. It's time to get this dude gone. Get him all the way, man. Matter of fact, when we go up to the moon on that mission, man, strap that fool to the side of the damn rocket and leave his ass. Leave his ass. Don't even bring him to the moon. Leave that nigga in lunar orbit. Leave him circling around the fucking moon. Get him far away from the planet. Don't even put a helmet on his fucking head. Just let that motherfucker receive a Space Force death penalty. Give him a Space Force death penalty. Put his ass on the damn Artemis space rocket. And once it go around the moon in one orbit, let him see the backside of the moon, then release his ass and keep him in orbit around the fucking moon. Get that damn idiot up out of here. It's time to get rid of him, man. He's doing all this fake shit. Just like they caught him in another lie. He sat there and lied in this briefing he did this morning and was speaking to the press about him talking to one of the former presidents who are alive, and one of them telling him he wouldn't name him. So he thought he wouldn't get fact checked on that shit. They told me they wish they would have done this when they were in office and blah, blah, blah. So, of course, the journalists going to go back and contact these damn presidents because there's 4 of them are still alive, I believe. 4 of them or 5 of them. They went back and contacted these fools and found out none of these fools talked to this dummy. Ain't nobody say that shit to that motherfucker. Ain't nobody said that shit. Like, this fool, Joe Biden memory kicked in good enough to know that he ain't talked to Donald Trump. Like, this fool can lie like a motherfucker. It is time to get rid of this fool from the face of the goddamn planet. He ain't done a goddamn thing for America. He ain't focused on America. He ain't here to help America. He's only here to destroy this shit. He ain't made life a fucking a dream for nobody in this mug. Not even the most backwooded racist ass white person who voted for the clown thinking they were gonna get something of a benefit from this fool for them being white. You ain't white enough. You ain't got the right. You ain't got the right white complexion. And that's the funniness about white racism. That even white racism comes with a complexion, a complexion coder. There's a complexion code to white racism and who it looks out for. That's the craziest shit. The ones who love using the N-word and ride around in trucks through muds get the least. You get the less of. And then the ones who look all like they from fucking out of Norway and all that shit, they get the most of. And they don't do shit. They don't work hard jobs. They don't get dirty out here. They don't grind. These fools sit at computers and had a computer tell them what decision to make. And they can just arrive over here and get a job like that and earn that kind of shit. They get the most of, not the less of, based on the complexion of their white skin. I was gonna look for another word. We're gonna say pigmentation, but I forget there is none. And then Dusan says if you don't wear green, says you get pinched. Man, I wish somebody would pinch. I'll break their fucking fingers for that old fucking funky shit. Because I was always wondering why they had us doing that shit as a kid in school. Like, it would be fun, like, as a kid, they teach you this shit about wearing green, but that's them trying to indoctrinate you to force in some old white shit on you. If you don't wear green, you get pinched, and it will be laughing to go pinch somebody wanting to wear green and shit. So when I see Negroes that sit out there as adults that wear that shit, want to be all in the Irish pub, thinking they accepted by these motherfuckers, and then when I see them out there fighting all type of white folks, I said, oh yeah, they must have been called the good old fashioned N-word, and now they want to cry and shit. That's what your little monkey asses get. But the black folks been winning the fights. The black folks been winning them damn fights. They've been kicking them Irish people, whatever they is. I don't think we got enough Irish people. It's just some old stupid ass person who non-black in the pub using the N-word or some shit, thinking they are fighting Irish and not realizing the Irish can't fight. And they be getting their ass whooped. And them videos, I seen one in Boston. They're beating up some white people in Boston. They had that one in Dallas. And they were all over that place. I seen them fighting at some damn rodeo shit. And the Bruce Gas in the building. Salute to OG Bruce Gas says, you know it. Time to impeach Donald Trump. Get him the hell up out of here. Alexander Wilson says St. Patrick's Day says it was originally a religious feast day. Says before it became a commercial. Before it became a commercial entity. Like everything in America just has no fucking culture to it. There's no value in what's celebrated. That's why I don't get caught up in celebration of shit in America, because you can't do anything to celebrate without people think you need to spend money. And it just goes into how crazy and how lost Americans are. Like even when we telling people, oh, I'm going on vacation. Where are you going? The fuck I need to go somewhere. The first thing is just to show how dumb a people in America is, that the first thing they want to, they think the ideal of is you're going to go spend some money. You're going to go there and spend some money. You're going to spend some money for that. Here comes this holiday. You're going to spend some money for that. I need some money for that. Then even people who ain't got the money, they ready to go rob and steal some shit just to have money to spend for that. Like, get the fuck out of here when you got companies that don't give two fucks about you. And these companies will fucking, in the most public of ways, in the public way in which they spew it, to tell you that they don't give a fuck about you. It was printed in bold, sided lettering that we verbalize of where we don't give a fuck about you, but we want you to spend it. And then people be wanting to fall out with the damn company. Man, the company don't think nothing of us. This company don't want to do it. The company flat out told you they don't give two shits about you. Just spend your money in here. Just spend it. And then, but yeah, that's the craziest shit I hear from people. And like what everybody celebrates is to throw money at somebody. Give me a free ass holiday. Holiday should be the day that the American government pours money back to the American citizen. Give back to the American citizen. Same way you give the welfare recipient niggas like Jerry. And then Bruce Gas says it's going to take years, says, to fix all the shit he's done. Facts. Just like you see, like from Reagan, the shit that Reagan fucked up. People, we still feel the effects of that shit from fucking when Reagan was in there. Reagan been out of there since the 80s. And society still suffers from the damage that Reagan has done, because we don't have congressional people, because their focus is never on the American people, because we also have American citizens who interfere anytime America wants to do something for the people. Just like you deal with the situation dealing with black farmers. And when you get presidential administrations that recognize the shit to go to pour money into financing what black farmers don't receive that white farmers get, white farmers come stepping in the way, running their little crying asses, bunch of hoe ass motherfuckers. And then the rest of the country of black people who can rally up and have strong voices stay silent and shit, unless the farmer go tenderism and nism tender. And then the black niggas will come up there, oh shit, we need to support the black farmer. And the white folks try to take away they tenderism reparation money. Stupid ass niggas. Now I've been watching that tenderism nigga just showing up on appearances for dumb niggas to take pictures just to go tenderism. Nigga, I want a motherfucking a smoked ham cock. Know what that is? Smoked oxtail. Where your restaurant, nigga? Like, motherfuckers are stupid. Keep telling motherfuckers how dumb people are. And the more I start listening, I start hearing people regurgitate the shit that I've been speaking on. Because it takes for people to go through shit to recognize how dumb they are. I ain't got to go through shit to recognize when shit is fucked up. I don't have to go through none of the shit to advocate and speak on shit. And that be how dumb people are, that to even advocate and hear me talk like that, People think I have to be a person suffering from that. Not at all. And that just goes how lost motherfuckers are. That once again, I bring up when I say I'm going taking days off, going on vacation, taking vacation. Ooh, where you flying to? Where you going? For what? I'm about to chill and enjoy myself, kick it with the kids, and enjoy not having to spend money to rest before I have to come back in this motherfucker and to remain stress-free and to feel like I've been away from this motherfucker. And then says, oh yeah, that's the one about the shit that Trump has done. I was bringing up the shit that Reagan, like you still feel the lingering effects of this shit from Bush, all of them. And then Moj and then Roland says space jail with hell. Said, yeah, take that motherfucking Space Force ass nigga Trump up to the motherfucking moon. Arrest his ass and Space Force execute his ass. Get Trump the fuck up out of here. Trump definitely deserved the death penalty. He done bombed that girls' school, lying about that shit. They ain't do it. Iran stole our tomahawk. We didn't do that shit. And if Vlasica says facts, says it's mind-boggling, says that there is so many stupid motherfuckers in the country, says that voted for him again. Shaking my head, says like for what? Because of their fucking racist. They're fueled by racism. And even people who try to deny that Trump wasn't racist. And then as time moves on for these lost delusional motherfuckers who don't know how to read signs and shit and read the character of people, are poor judges. They have such poor judgment and character of motherfuckers that no, he ain't like that. Trump would never be like that. He just as real as it get. He just ain't the most articulate when he speaks and this or that shit. But Trump just love black people. Look at him. He was all around Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson about dumb as a motherfucker. And he was around Al Sharpton and them and this and that. Fuck out of here. And then Bruce Gass says Clinton's team says got back, says and said he's never talked to Trump. Yeah, all of them, Clinton, Obama, Bush, and Biden them said we ain't talked to that whole ass motherfucker. That's crazy. Them the only fucking presidents living. That shit crazy. The rest of them fools is all dead and shit. You would think, man, that's because he didn't go in there so old. Yeah, we only got 4 presidents alive, and Bill Clinton looked like he hanging on and shit. I ain't seen George Bush in a minute with his retarded ass. And then and the Bruce Gass says how can he lie? He says, how can he lie like he does, man? Because his father's taught him, man. That's why we don't need to vote from people that come from these little Ivy League ass institutions, Ivy Leagues, high schools, and all that other shit. Them are the worst motherfuckers that ever fucking be people put in leadership positions in this country. These people are taught to be such pieces of shit. They don't have accountability for shit. And they're deranged as hell. These people are the most self-centered ass people. That's why all this AI shit gets pushed off on people and all this other crap. Like, it's time to get rid of them and shit. And then it's the other thing with the AI push is to help to where it allows America to go in here and be a callous ass nation when it goes into war, and where America can prolong its military actions without having to suffer so heavy from the expense side. Because you can ruin the country's economy. That's what collapsed the damn Soviet Union. It's pouring too much money in the military because now you have these large militaries. You have to feed your forces. You got to pay soldiers every month. You got to feed them every month. You got to give them a certain housing allowance every month. You got to build complexes to house them, maintenance for that shit, contractors to work on that shit. Now you bring in the fucking automated systems and you fight automated war. You can eliminate the cost of that shit and further your fucking war campaigns to where you do less damage to your fucking economies. As far as what the war, the war efforts, when these fools want to go into wars like this dummy. Now you may hurt people on the other end with oil costs and shit, depending on who you're going up against. Let me see. Asia Math sent me some shit. I don't know why you niggas be texting me when I'm live and shit. Let me see what this nigga sent. He probably sent me some shit on Israel. Let me see. He says even the U.S. military realizes Trump is incompetent. Oh, absolutely. Everybody in the military. I hear generals is quitting that motherfucker's military. Yeah, what I had another thing I was talking about. Oh, the shit over in Israel. They won't let my video go through with the that's why I keep deleting and putting that shit back up. because there's some shit going on in Israel where they attacking the Orthodox Jewish people. The Orthodox Jewish people are out there protesting or whatever is causing the Israeli forces that be attacking Palestinians. They are now taking batons up to them little Pharrell hats that the Jewish people be wearing. They taking them shits upside their heads. I don't know what kind of hats they are, but they the hats that Pharrell was making popular not that long ago. They've been knocking on top of them motherfuckers with batons and kicking these people. Like, I'll be like, those the Jews that survived the Holocaust. These other motherfuckers is something else. That's what them other fools is. And then, but Trump is a lying motherfucker because of the environment he comes from. He comes from a silver spoon world. And them silver spooners are some of the biggest pieces of shit type people you can ever meet. That's why when you come encounter with them type of people, you be ready to just punch them kids in their fucking mouth. Because they raised by pieces of shit ass people. Just go around little snobby ass silver spoon rich people. They some of the biggest pieces of shit and ain't worth the shit. Like, them motherfuckers ain't shit, homie. And then we got these people running the country and people wanting to fucking have them to lead them and shit. These people ain't never experienced a day inside of America. These fools ain't never experienced a day inside of America. Don't know shit about America. But will always want to make a decision and dictate what's wrong in America. And don't even have the right solutions to repairing shit in America when the damage has been caused by these type of motherfuckers. Bruce Gass says this is all to take our minds off the Trump Epstein files, and it's not going to take nobody off that shit. I was seeing something. Matter of fact, it was in South by Southwest. They had a walk of shame with the Epstein files on the ground, like how Hollywood has a walk of fame type shit. The fact that the Iranian government keeps calling it the Epstein Wars. This dude who just resigned today, speaking about this shit ain't got nothing to do with Iran. Iran don't pose a threat to America. Iran don't even got missiles. Nobody is threatening America. That's what made this shit about Bush going into war over September 11th such a bullshit ass decision. And his lies before even going into that war, lying about Saddam Hussein and shit. Like, these niggas is full of shit. They go in there for these resources. That's just like Trump and them. Zimbabwe fucking rejects Trump and them because Trump is around here fucking stealing from all these nations around the world and using this military. That's his new scheme of realizing he has a powerful military and finding weaker countries who have all these resources in the ground and say, we about to use this military to run through that shit. And he ran into this Iranian motherfuckers and find out, oh, these niggas ain't nothing to fuck with. But he tells African nations that he's pulling aid away from them. This is money that's probably been earmarked for these nations and providing aid and all that shit. That he suspended this money going to him. Now that shit about to be tied up in court for the court to be like, no, you can't touch that shit. It's going back in there. But his thing of forcing these people to receive this funding that has been guaranteed to them, however it's negotiated, they can't have it until they sign a deal for them to have rights to the minerals over there. You think that shit gonna benefit American people? Fuck no. That shit about to benefit these corporations and the cronies that this fool attaches to his organizations, appoint them to top positions in these companies that he allowed to go over there. That nigga is doing some criminal ass shit. Criminal fucking shit. And it's time for people to vote right, to get the right people to replace these niggas that's currently sitting in fucking Congress. Get them the fuck out of here. It's time to clean house. That's how you drain the swamp in here. Clear this motherfucker out. Impeach and arrest motherfuckers. Get that Indian nigga out the FBI. Get the little fucking stank whore, prostitute bitch out the DOJ. Get rid of all of them. Get Hegseg, little hoe ass. Ain't never done shit. Mark May, bitch ass, the fuck up. Out the goddamn military. These niggas is hoes. Like, niggas and hired this scumbag motherfucking immigrant Donald Trump. The little motherfucking spy. He a KGB ass motherfucker. Bougie Barbie says, what up to myself in the chat? Salute to Bougie Barbie. And then we got this degenerate low life scumbag donkey dick sucking motherfucker Jared. The little backwood redneck. He part of Whitaker's family. You remember the little incest creative family out there in West Virginia? That's Jerry. Jerry descended from the motherfuckers. Jerry writes, shut up, Reg. Says, you got nothing. Straight failure. Yeah, I ain't got shit. I ain't got shit but a white t-shirt. But you got a donkey dick in your mouth. You fucking little incest having, what they call them niggas that be fucking animals on the farms? You an animal, no, bestiality. That's what that shit, you old bestiality having ass motherfucker. You the receiver. That nigga motherfucking, he can't fuck with no bitches. And even gay humans don't fuck with him. So he on the farm making love to his animals. That nigga be at the little farm auction, nigga bidding his ass off for a new donkey. That nigga want a donkey. Man, back in Nevada, they got these wild ass donkeys. Jerry that drove the fuck out here to steal one of these motherfuckers. Just so he can get on his knees with a donkey. You old fucking old ass homo. And then Velocity Cut said, salute to you, Bougie. And then Jerry said, congratulations on the new t-shirt. And thank you, Jerry. Man, them tariffs, that tariff money helped. And then Jerry says, vote for Governor Newsom. Says, you stupid fuck. Absolutely, I'm going to vote for Newsom, you butt fucking degenerate idiot. Oh, backwood dummy. And then Velocity Cut, I've never listened to a backwood dummy talk to me on politics. Man, you're a fucking degenerate, homie. That's the one thing I don't listen to. I don't listen to redneck ass people on politics. I don't listen to silver spoon people on politics. And I don't listen to uneducated black people on politics. I don't listen to none of you dummies. And then Velocity Cuss says, speaking of fighting, says you hear Drew on Rumble Monkey Tuesday, says he wants to put hands on Schofield Sr. Says for that domestic violence. Man, Drew Titan is a fucking idiot, bro. That nigga's an idiot, homie. He just be running his fucking mouth, trying to sound good for people listening. That little short motherfucking predator-looking dude, Schofield, probably whooped Drew Titan old ass. This nigga is out of shape. He look like shit. Nigga going to the gym, worthless to the motherfucker. Talking health and unhealthy to the motherfucker. Think he can fight. Like, this nigga is a degenerate, bro. And Jerry says, you don't know shit about boxing. Says, did you forget that? Says, going to talk politics and economics. Says, shut the fuck up, dumbass. Yeah, sure, Jerry. Jerry, you still crying talking about the boxing shit. You don't want to lost a debate on some dumb shit and still crying about it. Go get a life, move to the city, get out the goddamn country, go wisen up, find you some bitches and shit. And I don't know, go find your little young bitch and some shit, man. You already a waste of life. Why don't you just go get trampled by one of them damn farm animals? They old, ain't got no kids, ain't never sat in no warm cooch, unless it was an animal and shit. Get your worthless ass the fuck up out of here. Nigga ain't never been between a woman's legs and shit. Nigga sitting between her hooves and shit. You fucking retarded ass farm made motherfucker. That's what's wrong with y'all and shit. That's why when I look for food, I make sure that shit didn't come from America, because I know when you little backward motherfuckers be on them farms before you got to go kill the animal doing some weird shit to it. I ensure my shit don't come from West Virginia, where Jerry old nasty ass at. Jerry says you were used to pussy leaders. Says cause you a pussy. Yeah, sure there, Jerry. I think Trump is a pussy who faking like he's some damn leader going to wars he ain't gonna fight in. When you look at his sons, it looked like he raised a bunch of pussies. So when you look at Trump boys, it looked like the pussy come from Trump and not their mothers. Nigga talking about like Trump is some badass. This nigga Jerry's a stupid motherfucker. That's how I know you stupid, Jerry. He got the nerves to talk about like Trump is some old tough guy. The fuck out of here. Trump the biggest pussy. You can look right in his kid's face and see he pussy. The fucking genes is pussy. Velocity Cuts in there rolling. Jerry says Trump won due to the blacks and the Hispanic vote. Says, what else you got? And them same blacks and Hispanics I'll talk about, we're talking about your ass, you hoof rubbing motherfucker. And then Bougie Barry says, what are the Velocity Cuts? And the Dalvik says we're living amongst at least 77 million dummies. I say about 177 million of these motherfucking retarded motherfuckers. It's a lot. We live around a lot of dummies, and then you got to even count for the kids that some of the dummies raise. So they go in that population. There's it's a population of stupid ass newborns, stupid ass little infants, and stupid school age kids because they raised by these stupid ass people. So you counting the adults, I think you counting the number of people from 30 to probably like 70 and shit. But you got to put the newborns in, raised by these and birthed by these retarded motherfuckers. And then Jerry says his father been dead for years. Says, what else you got, ho? Man, what is Jerry talking about, man? Get off Trump nuts, homie. They can hear old nut hugging motherfucker. Bougie Barbie says hell, says other countries barely got one ex-president living. Says the US is doing good, says to have three or four living. Shit, that's because other countries be having dictators and shit. They could be they presidents died. That's why they ain't living no more. Unless they have a fool get overthrown and he ran out of here. We get presidents that gotta get what 4 or 8 years, and all these niggas is dead. And then Jerry says what collapsed the Soviet Union? Says people was people wanting freedom. Says just like Iranians and Cuba. Jerry, that's how I know you're fucking stupid. That is not what collapsed the Soviet Union. What collapsed the Soviet Union was its fucking economics. A gun and butter type system, you fucking dummy. They pouring too much into its military efforts, overboard with the spending for that Cold War, not fucking improving their fucking economy and none of that shit. And they bankrupt that shit and collapsed it. And then therefore other countries began to fucking find their own fucking freedom, breaking away from the Soviet Union, dummy. He says you stupid as always. And you don't know nothing about the Iranians wanting freedom, nor the Cubans. The Cubans don't want America there. They didn't want America when they kicked the motherfucking sorry ass Americans up out of there. They don't want the Iranians don't want the Americans. That's why they kidnapped them old idiots they had back in the day. That America go begging to get these retarded motherfuckers back. And then America really had issues. Yeah, absolutely, Brandon, facts. And then you had the American whites back home mad as fuck that they let black people go, which I didn't even know that history till recently. But I'm pretty sure Jerry saw it. He was mad they let them black people go. Black people should be hanging. What they doing letting them go? And the Velocity Cuss says Asian Mad 43 sitting on 83 mil. Alexander Wilson says when Chernobyl meltdown happened, says it was something that the Soviet Union says couldn't. And facts. That's a fucking fact right there. That Chernobyl shit created a huge economic issue for fucking the Soviet Union. That is a fact. That's how Jerry don't be knowing what he's talking about. Jerry's a fucking idiot. Jerry don't know what he's talking about. And then the Soviet Union started to get kind of soft on the direction of that country. They start to kind of want to ease this divide with America. Gorbachev or whoever that motherfucker in there talking with Reagan and all that other shit. And them calming that shit. That Berlin Wall shit should have stayed up though. Because I believe Germany should have been punished, and them Jews over in Palestine should have been brought back over there and put in the land over in Germany where they've been at for thousands of fucking years and should have been protected. And then Jerry says you ain't punching nobody, says, but a pork chop. Punch a pork chop in a bitch ass motherfucker that look like you. And then Agent Matt says salute to the chat. And then Jerry says maybe we should take advice, says from a welfare recipient, says in a used t-shirt. Well, what you think wealthy people are? Since we're talking about welfare, what do you think people like Trump, the billionaire class of this country are? They are what you call welfare recipients. But on the lower economic scale of shit, those people happen to be the fall guys and scapegoats for people disproving of welfare being given to people who are on the lower stretches of struggle and shit. But you have nothing against them giving all this money and funding to wealthy ass areas, to wealthy ass people, to creating systems that these wealthy people money just flow into them and they don't even do shit. They don't work hard. I ain't never seen none of these motherfuckers get dirty. None of these motherfuckers do laborious shit. That's why they can walk around in suits every fucking day. Because their work doesn't comprise of any labor type shit. Nothing manly about the shit. Like, get the fuck out of here talking that welfare shit. Knowing damn well you old fucking Section 8 recipient. You a fucking dumbass farmer. Or what welfare recipient ass fucking farmer. About fucking old white farmer running to the government to get all type of shit. Spending your money on buying donkeys and shit. You fucking little cuck ass animal loving motherfucker. And the Velocity Cuss says you know it's backfiring. Says when NATO don't want to get funky. Right. This fool tried to talk about all this shit. Then he be backtracking everything said. Yeah, we gonna open up the Strait of Hormuz. We need all these other countries to come in. Them countries said, nigga, what? Who's that? Who calling? Trump, man. Ain't that shit up. Ain't answer that shit. Here this old panhandling motherfucker begging us to bring weapons over there to open this strait. We ain't fucking with that shit. Iran gonna give us our shit. Iran said, nigga, the strait is open to everybody but your ass. Everybody can get their oil but America. We ain't fucking with y'all. And then now Trump ain't got no friends in the world because he ruined this shit before even going into this Iranian shit. All this shit reverses on him, backfires like a motherfucker on him. Because he thought he knew better. He thought he was the toughest. He thought he was the smartest. And then now he need a friend because Iran is embarrassing this motherfucker. Embarrassing this fool. And then I hear some shit happen on one of these aircraft carriers and shit that they got to take that shit. They got 800 sailors on a boat that ain't got a place to sleep on that motherfucker. And now they got to pull an aircraft carrier out of service because of fire. They had ships in there crashing. Them two damn airplanes and crashing to each other. And he talking about what powerful military built. Nigga, get the fuck out of here. It's saying goddamn military was there before your funky ass ever stepped in the fucking White House, bitch. Acting like he got in there and whipped people into shape. Like you still the same hole that your motherfucking funky ass mama done pushed out. You and I think Jerry and Trump got the same mama. Both of their mamas nasty. Jerry says, go make a broke ass peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Well, you go make a mayonnaise one, you old dirtbag nasty motherfucker. You old mayonnaise complected looking motherfucker. You probably rub that shit on your motherfucking nasty ass. And then Asian Mass says it's getting more apparent. Says Trump cabinet's not planning to stay around. Says staying around too long. Says start to look like a corporate smash and grab. Yeah, it's falling apart. All this shit falling apart. I'm just waiting for the next announcement. This nigga said today he is out of here. That dude quit. He looked at that shit, said I can't rock with this shit. Now I'm an old racist, sorry ass motherfucker, but this shit Trump on, I can't rock with that. And then he probably looking like, man, Iranian probably about to unload some shit. Brandon Washington is the most incompetent administration in history. Says Cubans ain't even claiming Marco Rubio anymore. Yeah, Marco Rubio don't even look like a fucking Cuban. The fuck you just gonna come in and force an American motherfucker to lead a bunch of Cubans? Man, Marco Rubio can't fight. Cubans know how to fight. Marco go in there trying to be president. They be beating that nigga the fuck up. Kicking Marco Rubio in this little hoe ass. Get the fuck out of here. Nobody know what Marco Rubio is. He like Teofimo claiming. What do Teofimo be claiming he is? Teofimo claim he what? Puerto Rican or some shit? No damn Teofimo Indian motherfucker. He the same thing Cash Patel is sitting there lying that he a fucking Puerto Rican or where the fucking Spanish country is. Them niggas left India and landed in Puerto Rico, whatever the fuck it is, and then came to New York talking about they Puerto Rican. And they can't help but to ask for a Slurpee and shit. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, sorry ass motherfuckers be claiming they this and that. This is like these fools claiming they Holocaust survivors in damn Israel. And then Brandon Washington, the rolling, Bougie Bar, and the rolling. Oh, that's what y'all laughing at when I said that shit about what Jerry be on his farm doing with them donkeys and shit. And then Jerry says, yeah, well, says presidency, House, Senate, and stacked conservatives, says Supreme Court, says what you got. Jerry, even the Supreme Court gonna start going against your boy. Even the Supreme Court gonna go against your boy. And then Patreon says, damn, says nasty Jerry molesting them poor donkeys, says then chewing tobacco. Yeah, he in there fucking around with donkeys. But the donkey's doing it to his whole ass and shit. And then Jerry says, and very few listen to you. Says you currently have 2 likes. Says carry on. Jerry, I don't be hitting no like button. I don't cry about a like button. I don't even cry about numbers. Whether it's a lot of numbers whether it's low numbers, whether it's zero numbers. You don't hear me cry about none of that shit, Jerry. But I know your stupid ass in here, so I got you. And then Jerry says, find somebody who thinks I lost that debate. Look at this nigga still crying about a debate from, what did that debate been, 4 years ago? He says, use your own audience, says none believe you won. Jerry, man, get over that dumb shit. And then Bougie says, that's my point. She in there roll it. Brandon in there saying facts. And then Patron says Soviet Union says fell due to economic and says an oligarchy corruption. Says the Russian Federation says was accepted. Says was accepted, and there wasn't a large so-called revolution, Jerry. See, Jerry don't be knowing history, and Russia's a white country like Jerry. So Jerry's just a dummy. He's just an old dumb nigga who didn't go to school because he would have had to walk like 5 miles to the school because his old daddy pickup truck was broke. Daddy needed the damn new starter in the truck, but the coal mine shut down, so that little poor welfare motherfucker had nothing but a food stamp card. And the rest of the people up in the damn Hillbillyville had they couldn't even give him cash to buy a food stamp. They you know how you down here the crackhead to give you his food stamp card, you give him by what you get about 200, you give him $100. Them niggas give each other meth. That nigga Jerry Daddy was trading the food stamp card for meth. So Jerry, who didn't want to walk to school no more, the more broke down ass shoes his daddy brought, like it passed down to the shoes. His dad ain't buy him shit. His old passed down ass shoes. Jerry couldn't walk the 2 miles, the 3 miles of school and shit. So the dumb motherfucker dropped out. He don't even know about nothing about a white ass country of Russia and how the Soviet Union fell apart. That's how dumb this white dude is. And this is what makes me say, I don't listen to poor ass white people talk anything about history, talk anything about politics when they don't even know nothing about white countries. Jerry, you are a failure to the expansion of white racism. You're a dummy. And then the Patron says Soviet Union says fell due to economic and oligarchy corruption. Says the Russian Federation was accepted. Says and there wasn't a large so-called revolution. Jerry says geriatric Jerry says you nasty donkey abuser. Says who are you to say Iranians need freedom? America has more school shootings and violence. America needs freedom. Facts, bro. Jerry is a fucking one of these scumbag ass white dudes who don't know what the fuck his place is in the world and don't know what the fuck he be talking about. That's why I believe my mission is to put people like Jerry in their fucking place. It ain't got to be me punching the motherfucker in his head. Is none of that shit. It's the educated stupid ass. That's the one thing that white folks like this motherfucker need is education, because these motherfuckers are stupid. They don't know shit and they don't know what the fuck they be talking about. Because these fools, like I say, we deal with so much shit here, like Patron wrote, the school shooting, workplace violence. You can barely trust these motherfuckers when you going to work. You best believe you better watch your goddamn Jerry looking coworker. You better watch that motherfucker. And this is the way you do it when you walk into work. You walk into work and you got a coworker look like Jerry. You read that motherfucker face. Okay, nigga look, let me see. His eyes look regular. Don't look like he got that little glossy, don't give a fuck about the world stare and shit. Okay, he ain't got no meth in the system. His eye pupils look regular. All right, so he ain't touched the meth yet. Let me see. Does he got a weapon on his hip? Okay. Let me see if that bitch got a big purse. You can hide an AR-15 in that motherfucker or something. Okay, let me see. Okay, what car did Jerry? Jerry in that pickup truck with a Confederate flag on. Okay, this nigga ready to set it off. Yeah. Now I may have to hide behind the door and whack this nigga in the head when he walked through the damn door and shit. I'll be a hero. I'm gonna get the Medal of Honor in this motherfucker for beating this nigga brains out before he took the whole workforce out. So that's shit you gotta watch when you go to work. You gotta watch these motherfuckers. You gotta watch them when you go in the store. Like shit, fuck out of here. I got a master's, a master's of anatomic nuclear neurology of fucking backwood motherfuckers. Well, a PhD in that shit. You study these niggas' head. Brendan Washington says Jerry a dumbass, says he thinks Iran says one American freedom, says fuck out of here. Right. There's no one shit with America. You think they want America bringing this bullshit Christianity over there? Get the fuck out of here, stupid ass motherfucker. I just love when people like Jerry come in here, man. I just love when they come in here. Brad says Jerry dying. Red says he got throat cancer. Says you heard how he talks. Man, he can die all he want. Fuck Jerry. After all this shit he talking, give a fuck. He died during this live. You know, I don't like scumbag niggas who talk stupid like Jerry, nigga. Fuck him, nigga. Cancer, kick that nigga in his ass. Nigga, I hope cancer Iran in your motherfucking ass, Jerry. He's a dummy. Until you wake up and stop being stupid, maybe I'll feel different about you. Maybe I'll tell the cancer to get off your ass. And then Jerry says, shit about higher economics. Says stay on what do you say? Stay on Gubernet cheese. Jerry, you grew up on that shit. What the fuck you talking about? Government mayonnaise, all that shit. The government loaf, you ate all that shit, motherfucker. Fucking old gulag porridge cooking ass mama. You know your mama couldn't cook. Fuck y'all eat roadkill and all that shit. Y'all nasty up there, homie. Bougie Barry says those countries send Trump straight to voicemail. Yeah. They said that's Trump calling, man. Hang that shit up. Matter of fact, the bill ain't paid, man. They put that shit on. This phone is no longer in service and shit. Iran in there treating Trump like a hoe. And I love that shit. And then the shit he doing over in Cuba is foul as fuck. Starving that country out. And that's just like Iran said. Nigga, we gonna make oil go up to $200 a barrel, homie. I don't give a fuck about y'all. And Iran understands this shit. That you starve them of this resource, you starve their economy, and it begins to create a domino effect. That gas shit and all this other shit come from gas will destroy this economy, homie. Start the people losing jobs, and then looking at this shit in the airport that we overlook, and the fact that Trump has put a stranglehold on news corporations, that CNN, all these little hoe ass motherfuckers don't even report the news. I think they said Trump put out some shit the other day, bragging about the shit he done changed in the media and fixing the media how he wanted, because the media corporations, the corporations of America, are welfare recipients. This government pours billions of dollars into these worthless motherfuckers. And I know he was probably pissed off watching that Academy Awards shit and seeing them black motherfuckers win awards for films. And then and the Asian man says facts, says U.S. blue collar taxpayers says deserve that Enron welfare check. All that shit just to watch Enron fucking fall apart. Them old crooked motherfuckers stealing and rob the economy. Don't get two fucks about people. I wasn't in California. I think I just got back to California when Enron was doing that scam they were pulling with California. Them fools doing all them rolling blackouts. I was there towards the end when California, who from California remember that shit when they were having to do like shutdowns. Matter of fact, they will show a lot. That's why I think I end up getting scared of the amusement park shit, because they were having to where power go out and the roller coasters and shit will end up getting stuck and shit. You go into the stores will lose power. They'll start doing these rolling blackouts in areas at certain times and shit. And that was all because Enron was manipulating the fucking energy cost of California, doing bullshit. And all the people at the top doing this shit. And there wasn't people at the top doing when they got caught, killing their whole ass selves. And then Andrew Charles says they can help or not. Says we don't depend on the Strait of Hormuz. Says Europe and Asia do. Shit, America must be dependent on our gas prices is up. So Andrew Charles, once again, you don't know what you be talking about. Just like you know what you're talking about with Russia and all that other shit. Told you. But I'm glad to see you back over, Andrew Charles. I remember you left from off the channel hearing me talk all that real shit that you don't like because it's uncomfortable to you. And I don't know if you was mad when you heard me say this shit about that bitch Charlie Kirk too. And then Bruce Gass says the Germans' answer was 4 plus 9. Says in other words 9. And then and he says Trump destroyed Cuba's power grid, says by blocking oil shipments. Says now he's acting like he can fix the country. He says he fucked up. Yeah, because he want to go in there and steal from that country. He wants to go in there and allow American companies to go in there, create this little Riviera shit in Cuba, make Cuba this little paradise for wealthy folks, and then the fucking further plunge specific groups of people based on racial demographics further into poverty. Keep them at the lower levels of however they create an economy to where they don't move up, making it just how the American corporate economy is. Where in the American corporate economy, they keep blacks and Latinos and everybody else, even other like darker skinned white people down at the bottom. Them old don't get no sunlight ass white people, the ones who roll in snow and hang out in the snow, move up to the top and be the executives and companies. That's really what America got going on in this motherfucker. And it's time for stupid ass people of all racial brackets in this country to wake the fuck up. Stop electing people who look like they just playing fucking snow and avoid the fucking sun. I think niggas is vampires or something. It's time to wake the fuck up and realize that shit. And you don't got to be a racist to fucking speak the truth on shit. And that's the way that people hit you with this shit to stop the truth from being told. Talk this anti-Semitic shit. Anti-Semitism is a European thing. Them Germans and other Europeans and white American hateful people are anti-Semitic people, not other races of people. Jewish people ain't go through nothing in no other continent. They ain't go through shit in Africa. They ain't go through shit in the Middle East. They ain't go through shit in South America. They ain't go through shit in America. They went through shit in Europe. And Europe fucking only. And then Jerry says, because the Europeans are the only one who had been dealing with these motherfuckers. The fuck are people talking about? Get your knowledge up. Jerry's stupid ass says Cubans finally fighting for freedom. Says just like the Iranians. Says you're on the wrong side of history. Says because you have TDS. Says TDS. Says and you a pussy and you a dying motherfucker. From what I hear, Jerry, you got that shit in you. So that whiteness couldn't even help you. You must have sat in the sun too long. You probably got skin cancer or something. Along with you probably smoking unfiltered nicotine cigarettes. And then Matthew F says, Jerry, the pedo lover. And then Brandon says, Jerry says, you're a dummy. Says the Cubans already have freedom. Says they are governed by themselves, dummy. Jerry just dumb, man. He's just a degenerate ass old white dude on no shit. And then Bruce Gass says, Trump a tough guy, says shutting off the power, says to hospitals in Cuba. Yeah, killing people. He's a fucking Nazi. Trump is a fucking Nazi, man. And that's the thing he don't look at. Is that people are going to die in that motherfucking and are dying. And then guess what they do? They have exclusions to the media reporting that shit. Like we're a country that's supposed to be having fucking freedom of press in this mug. And we got a dictator censoring shit. And then we get the little sorry motherfuckers in this country who fake like they constitutionalists. The Constitution is violating, but then they silent on this pussy ass motherfucker. Like this fool is crazy. And he's so fucked up that even these whites that he brought over here from out of Africa are taking their ass back to Africa where they don't even belong in that motherfucker. But they going back to Africa. They said this white privilege in this motherfucker is all the way wrong. Let me get the hell up out of here. But Jerry ain't got white privilege. He just all poor white trash. And then Jerry said, Brandon Shore says that is why they are tearing shit up. Says get back to work. Says and shut up. Says you stupid. And then Brandon says responds to Jerry says who told you they were tearing it up. Says stop the propaganda. Because when we look up, America got a lot of protests going on too. Protesting ICE, protesting decisions, tearing shit up, burning shit up. We got white folks trying to kill our presidents. White people who have killed other presidents. What is Jerry talking about? Tearing shit up. We got white people blowing shit up, shooting up concerts. What the fuck is Jerry talking about? White kids going to school, shooting this shit up, and these white kids ain't even go buy the gun in the gun store. Too young to even purchase it. But they got access to it. Got access to a lot of bullets to put in there. They plan shit. Some of them fucking create pipe bombs in that shit. What the fuck is Jerry talking about? Jerry don't know what he's talking about because he been taught wrong in them little stupid ass churches he go to. Think one of them snakes done bit him because Jerry go to them churches and them white folks be in there dancing with rattlesnakes and shit. The niggas go in there, met the fuck up, go in there, walk through that motherfucker. That's what they communion is. You know how in our church they pass around the cup and give you a little cracker and shit. Jerry and them church pass around a goddamn tube of meth. And they methed up and passed. That's what the niggas been in church. They rocking down the aisle, methed up and passed. And then he going snake. And then niggas be fucked up. They playing a little banjo and shit. Those niggas catch a rhythm. The banjo at 45 beats per second. And them niggas, they're doing all that old wicked ass shit. Thinking they talking to their version of God who really the devil and shit. Yeah, motherfucker, Jerry and them some weird motherfuckers. Don't ever go where Jerry at unless you ready to fucking do a execution on this bitch ass. Jerry says, Red says, when you want to compare, when you want to compare you welfare, you welfare existence to my income. What the hell? You meant yours, not you. Man, this old redneck fool don't even know how to write his own homeland language anymore. But Jared, you don't have income, bro. You're a welfare recipient, man. You're a sorry ass white dude. This fucking old snake pit ass motherfucking white dude. Jerry says Patron says, look at what the Iranians are protesting. Says, you dumb fuck. Look what the Americans are protesting, idiot. You live in America and don't even realize there's protests going on all across America. When you go, matter of fact, Jerry, take your stupid ass down to Washington, D.C. and go look at what the White House look like. You fucking idiot. Is there not a gate built around the fucking White House, Jerry? That gate built around the White House ain't built for no foreign fucking terrorist shit. It's built because of white folks. And that's the one thing that white media corporations don't want to fucking speak the truth of. That's the one thing American politicians don't want to speak the truth of as to why the White House is fenced off and why it is gated off. Jerry, take your little funky, dirty, dingy ass and a horse or an old ass pickup truck and drive it down to Washington, D.C. because you on that end of the damn country. Drive over there and go look at the White House and you can barely see that motherfucker. And it ain't because of no fucking threat from an Iranian, a threat from an Iraqi, a threat from a Russian, a threat from a nigga out the Mexican cartel. It ain't a threat from a blood, it ain't a threat from a Crip. But it is a threat from Al Cracker. That's what it is. A threat from the terrorist white groups who the American government and intelligence groups who be hiding when they need to put that kind of information out. That information is top secret when they got to tell the truth that the biggest threat to America is a white motherfucker. Of why they have put a gate to fence off the goddamn White House. And then there's a gate further away from that shit to even keep you further from that with a black mesh over it so you can hardly even see that shit. It's to protect these American presidents from white citizens. Simple as that. And I guarantee that statement keeps Jerry to shut the fuck up because he can't even state that anything I stated was wrong. That's how dumb he is. And he says, yeah, I'm white. Says, my leader is fully in charge. Says, you are a helpless observer. Says, nothing more. Says, enjoy the next 3 years. Jerry, I'm an American motherfucker like your little degenerate dog-headed ass who don't fuck with Donald Trump. And Donald Trump is fucking you over more than he's ever doing to me, motherfucker. You the fool ain't getting shit out the dummy because you believed in him. I ain't invest shit into this pussy. And then Velocity cuss and they're rolling. And then Patron says, Jerry, you inbred, says there's millions in Tehran, says daily in support of the government. Says I've been in Iran, says, I've been to Iran says a few times, says and have friends there. Says 90% support the government, says maximum 10% don't. Says you, so he says, so you're a fool. Yeah, Jerry's a certified idiot. We all know Jerry idiot. We know he's an idiot when he cried over that damn stupid ass boxing debate he was crying on. And then Silvestri says, what up? Salute to my brother Silvestri. Then turn this into the motherfucking Jerry Kickathon. And then Jerry says, you mean the white citizens says who voted Trump in? Oh yeah, Jerry. Those white citizens who voted Trump in have been the ones who try to pop his head off. The same white citizens who voted for Trump are the same ones who blew Charlie Kirk neck the fuck off. That's what I mean. And that's why they build gates around the White House. Thank you for responding there, Jerry, because I knew you would respond to that fact I put out about why all these protections are around that fucking White House. They're for white folks. Jerry can't respond to that shit. Checkmate, Jerry. So learn to shut the fuck up. Always checkmate. Always right with your boy, homie. And then Matthew says that King guy resigned today. Says the rats are jumping shit. Says Tulsi should be next to resign. Facts. You get her funky ass out of here. She a fraudulent ass broad too. Lassie Cut says facts. Says it's up. Says crash out season. And then Sylvester in the building saying what up? Salute to Sylvester. I thought you saying you right in here earlier. Well, wasn't that you earlier? Yeah, that was you. And then Brandon says Jerry dying. Red says he got throat cancer. Says you heard how he talks. Yeah, fuck Jerry. And salute to that cancer. Get that nigga out of here. Salute to the cancer that's in Jerry. Not anybody else's cancer, but Jerry cancer. Salute to that shit. How do you super chat? And your motherfucking cancer asked for a super chat. I'll send that shit to that motherfucker. And then Jerry says the patrons, he says, Iranian leader says just slaughtered over 10,000 Iranian citizens for protests. It says you stupid. Man, get the fuck out of here. He talking about Iranian slaughtering shit. Jerry, you want to talk about how many fucking people Europeans have slaughtered? Are you fucking stupid? You sound dumb as fuck, Jerry. And then Velocity cuts in there rolling. And then Brandon says Jerry's from West Virginia, says he married to his first cousin. He probably married to his sister if he got a woman. But like I said, Jerry, I don't think Jerry ever been between a woman's legs. He only been between animals' hooves. He been between a hoof of an animal on his motherfucking knees. That nigga nasty, man. I don't even think Jerry ever sat between a woman's legs and shit. If anything, when he was changing his granny pamper, he probably in there fondling her motherfucking ass. He probably got a record. And then Matthew said, he said, you foul. I ain't foul, be it real. Fuck this nigga Jerry. Little Trump loving hoe. And then Matthew says Trump is threatening Cuba. Says little Marco was talking a word salad today about it. Did all these fools, these some of the most despicable pieces of shit. And you gotta be a real piece of shit to defend that shit. And that's exactly what Jerry is. He come in here acting like his name Trump. I can't stand motherfuckers that hear me in the title talking about Trump and then these bitch ass niggas jumping here acting like they Trump girlfriend and shit. I guess he see Trump such an ass that Jerry see donkey in that nigga. That's why Jerry in love with Trump. He see donkey in him and shit. Yeah, nigga, you better take your ass to the White House. He may let you in that motherfucking fucking idiot. And then Asian Mass says meanwhile, Xi Jinping. Boy, that nigga mama filed for naming that nigga that shit. Imagine going to school. Imagine Xi Jinping going to a black school. God damn. That nigga be really pulling that karate shit out. They'd be clowning that nigga. That's why I think Asians never went to black schools and shit, because we be clowning shit. We be roasting the fuck out of them, man. It'd been hard being an Asian kid growing up around black folks. Boy, we be clowning names like a motherfucker. That nigga named Xi Jinping and this nigga named Kim Jong-un says, imagine going to school with them niggas, man. That's why they don't like, I think that's why Asians, when they first got here, didn't like black people, because we always roasting shit. He said, I'm just, that damn name be cracking me up. That nigga named Xi Jinping, that's how he said it. And Kim Jong-un says sitting back toasting to their prominent future of global dominance, says Putin also. But listen, but even look at that when you look at China's dominance. The white corporate and then the fucking corporate, the politician who was in the back pocket of a fucking in the back pocket of some executive from a corporation has fucked America over toward these other nations that were once poor ass countries have leapfrogged us and shit. Because these fools and their little racist behavior, rather than looking out for the well-being of this nation and for the upward mobility of American citizens, regardless of race, they want to fuck these people over. and not to spread a fair share and equity in this motherfucker. They said, man, fuck these people. We're going to take this shit over to China, get low labor costs and all this other shit. And now China said, fuck these fools. We about to get rich off this shit. Thank you for teaching us how to do this shit. Goodbye. We don't need you. All these motherfuckers, man. It's these sorry motherfuckers in this country. Little suit and tie wearing welfare recipients who these congressional people align themselves with to allow them to set this kind of bullshit. And then especially when they start targeting the breaking of unions and all that other shit. Jerry says the Brandon says you get your welfare check this month. Jerry talking about welfare checks, trying to associate that shit with black folks when white folks the biggest recipients of that shit. Motherfucker got his fucking the audacity to talk welfare and shit, knowing damn well he grew up on that shit. Your motherfucking parents ain't have no damn skill sets. Too busy laying in bed with each other. They grew up in the same crib and shit. Grew up in the same crib and had you and shit. Probably stayed in their parents' house and shit. And then Matthew says the problem says a lot of these blue collar white people says vote Republican. That's the problem with them. Poor and dumb. And then Patreon says he says one of America's first strikes says was a kids girls' school, says it killed over 170 kids. Says Jerry location on Google Maps says and everything says is that American freedom? Says American brainwashing is a joke. But America realized this is what you get where I was looking at something where it was a lady, it was on Instagram, and she was talking about how it was an Indian woman. And she was talking about like how their parents, when their parents come over here, she said the Indians, the Asians are like that, and it might have even been the Africans or some shit about how they know. I think she's talking about the Asians. She's talking about the Asians. She's talking about her people being she was an Indian lady and Asians. How they don't want their daughters. They prefer their daughters dating within their own race, but it's okay if they end up marrying or have a relationship with a white person, but they don't want it with a black person. And their kids come over here and they want relationships with black folks. Matter of fact, it's a very popular lady on here who's an Indian with a ton of kids, and what she cut her relationship off with her parents because the Indian people do that honor killing. They'll kill their grandkids off and even kill their daughters and shit. But when I was hearing this lady say that and why their parents are like that, their parents are like that because what white folks have done and the carnage that Americans have done over there. Americans have beaten these people into submissions. America has gone over there and slaughtered their people, have punished their government. And these people have fallen into where they end up fucking honoring their fucking their enslavers, the people who have oppressed them, and they begin to grow to love them. So the more you slap a motherfucker around, stomp on them, blast them and shit, these people begin to submit to you. And that is exactly what has happened to Asians and shit. Because the ones who come over here have come over here behind the American missile, falling over into their homeland. And America beating the fuck out of them, making examples of shit. And they come over here and the white folks tell them, we are your Lord and Savior, we are God, but them black folks don't trust them. You don't want your daughters messing with them. And then their daughters be listening to that shit until their daughters get fucked by one of us. Then they weigh their options. Man, white motherfucker ain't hitting shit, can't do nothing with the pussy. This nigga weird. Then pull the fucking AR-15 to during the sex with the bitch, and the black motherfucker just run her shit leaky. And them motherfuckers enjoy us. Like God has just blessed us in the art of spanking the motherfucking spanking the cheeks. License Cuss says, so you see that news? So you see that news anchor says, ask that Iranian official, says, are you guys ready for U.S. ground troops? He responded, where they at? Says we ready. But I like the Iranian motherfuckers. I like the Iranians, homie. The Iranians ain't no fucking joke. And I think most Americans like the Iranians. Americans want this shit. We ain't in here rocking with this Trump shit. Trump a bitch. Trump kids are bitches. Ain't nothing tough about him. I think Trump little daughter beat up her bitch ass brothers. Cause she even know they bitches. She got her mother genetics. She ain't got Trump genetics. And then Matthew says, says glass is a global market. So just because we don't use the Strait of Hormuz, says doesn't mean our gas doesn't get expensive. Says when it gets shut down. And then also on top of that, you have had Iran to even fucking attack the oil fields of these other countries. And then Matt says preach, yes indeed. And then folks, I'm gonna go for about maybe 20 more minutes. So don't write too many comments. I want to get through all the comments. Andrew says gas says right now says still ain't close to what it peaked at under Biden. Are you lying your fucking Trump loving ass off? You crazy as fuck. This shit is peaking up to where it was when Bush was in this motherfucker. When Bush collapsed the economy and shit. That's where gas is at. And I'm pretty sure on a global, on a national level, it is peaked up to that. This shit is right back up to 2008. When did Bush do that? 2008, 2009, which was some crazy years to live through that shit as a person of working age. And then Jerry says end of the day, says Trump is in power, says the people have voted. So was Biden in power as well. What he says you are, what the fuck is this word, Jerry? You are hellish, says you are hellish, observes. The fuck is this idiot talking about? I forget, he got one of them old Appalachian ass education. Says nothing more, enjoy. And then Velocity cuts into rolling. And then Matthew says white kids says pew pew at school, says and the firearms used says was brought by their parents. Facts. It's like the little white parents going through that trial recently who brought their kid, knowing their kid got issues, brought him that fucking gun, and he'd take his bitch ass to school and gun the people down. Then his sorry ass school, who didn't check his backpack, bring him into a meeting, allow him to go on to class after drawing shit, threatening about some shooting, thought nothing of this kid. And as soon as he leaves the office, he in there fucking creating carnage. Parents who drop their kids off got to get a call, or hearts pounding once the news comes. There's a school shooting. Hearts got to pound, and you got to hope you ain't one of them fucking parents who child ain't coming home. Get the fuck out of here, you pussy ass motherfuckers. In there listening to advice from people like Jerry and shit. People like Melania Trump, bitch ass. That's like I was talking about the other day about the weak ass cartoons kids grow up on. There's them old little Melania Trump looking bitches getting in there complaining and all this other shit. And they little weird ass kids versus parenting their kids and dealing with their kids, knowing their kids going weird and think nothing of it. And then Matthew S says Jerry goes to a gay church. Absolutely do. Absolutely. Jerry preacher be holding his Bible like this. Please turn who the people in the Bible? Turn to Joshua 35:15. And Mary, what's her name? Mary, just a little scandalous little hoe. We didn't like Mary. Where are the men in the motherfucking Bible? That's what Jerry, the fucking pastor, fucking the homo ass church going motherfucker. Matthew says what is evil? Says it's the complete lack of empathy. Says and Trump has no empathy. Ain't got zero of that shit. He learned it from his fucking father. And then Matthew says, who built the White House, Jerry? And he says the answer is slaves, black folks. Trump don't want to see none of that shit. And then guess where Trump was at when the White House? Guess where Trump family was at when the White House was being built and all that shit? In Europe. Nowhere here in America. And then Matthew says, was there any black people at the January 6th situation? Absolutely not. Probably like one or two of them retarded ass black folks. Same ones who wear green on St. Patrick's Day. Them type of black folks is probably there. And then Jerry says, you mean the white citizens says who voted Trump in? And then Matthew says, Jerry's a Fox News boomer. And Jerry says, yeah, says you're always right. Says just like when you said Kamala will win, says you stupid. Hey, you either win or you lose, but Kamala ain't president, so we focusing on who is president. So you should be happy that I'm talking about the president. Too bad he ain't doing good. And then Velocity Cuss says you foul, man. No, I ain't foul, man. Y'all niggas just be nice. Y'all some old nice ass niggas, apologists. And then and the SS says Jerry talking about Iranian citizens says, but in the same breath says wasn't keeping that same energy when Russia invaded Ukraine. Says was probably saying it's none of our business. Says like most Trumpers. That's exactly what Jerry was saying. And then Andrew Charles, you got him talking about, man, Russia about to end this war. Looking at the clock and calendar, it's been going on for about what going on 8 fucking years. These niggas don't be knowing what they be talking about. And then Matthew says Jerry's an orange mushroom gobbler. Says with knee pads. Yeah, he a knee walker. He a Trump knee walker. Trump liked them type of motherfuckers. Jerry wanted him a little Epstein. He reminded him of an old Epstein child. Velocity Cuss says donated to accelerate the cancer. Says the most diabolical shit I've ever. Yeah, that motherfucking cancer wanted some motherfucking donations. I send that shit. Yeah, he says you had no remorse. It's like the Mexican Bartel, man. No, man, fuck these type of people, because people who think like Jerry's some of the worst, degenerate, sorry motherfuckers this earth has ever seen. That's why this fucking planet with human beings has such a fucking sick ass history to it. And then people want to protect these type of motherfuckers that if I say the shit I say to Jerry, people think I'm wrong. Fuck people who think like Jerry. The niggas is the problem in this fucking in this world. And they can treat people. That's the same thing with Trump. Even with slave history motherfuckers, they've been treating people like shit. Then they get old, fucked up, and then people want to forgive them. They be like the little sorry ass black brother who was in the courtroom after that little cop bitch killed his brother. He gets his little funky ass off the goddamn stands to go hug the bitch. Then you get the sorry ass judge want to give the bitch a Bible and they're combing her fucking hair. That's the type of shit you deal with, motherfuckers. I ain't that type of motherfucker. I ain't showing no remorse to no piece of shit like Jerry, who think it's cool because the people Trump fucking with don't descend out of Europe. And Jerry supports that little racist ass shit while always trying to be around black folks. He don't do nothing but spend all his time on here on YouTube around black channels because white folks don't fuck with him. Or white folks really on YouTube ain't got shit popping. The only shit popping with white folks is the most degenerate shit that you see on here, that you have huge followings. So you gotta do degenerate, retarded, goofy shit to have followings from kind of the white segment here, or talk hateful shit for you to have a following as a white person on YouTube. That's just like I talked about in the military. The only people in the military that they have to fucking talk to about not joining treasonous organizations are white recruits. Simple as fucking that. Because those are only people with anti-government groups in this motherfucker that these sorry ass investigative bureaus don't go after. They just sit back and observe these motherfuckers, know they exist and all this other shit. And then Bougie Barbie says not Americans, says white people, says went around doing this, says to other countries. Black people nowhere, says didn't know, wait. Oh, that's supposed to be go. It says black people nowhere didn't go around doing that, says doing that to anyone. Yeah, we don't do that ill shit. We don't do that shit. We don't go off the wars and be doing the sick shit, trying to rape people in villages, killing their parents, and then doing inhumane shit, tying them up in Guantanamo Bay, making them do gay shit, trying to humiliate motherfuckers. That's a bunch of European ass shit. And then Ford says we all are going to be wiped out, says by the end of next year, says anyways, says only the mega rich, says will survive, says have 100% survival rate. No, the mega rich be the first ones to die out because they're fucking very weak. They're going to be the first ones to be attacked. And when things go bad, that's going to be when dumbass people wake up. That'll last about a week because people are so dumb. Then they'll be going up against each other. SS City Singer says the little Trumpers just be out here regurgitating shit. Says can't even tell me why gas was high under Biden. Says they just completely turned a blind eye, says to that deal Trump cut with OPEC in 2020, says cut production. And then because these fools is dumb out here. And Matthew F saying facts 100. He's saying 100, and he's pointing up to what SF City Slicker wrote. But people like Jerry, who are just degenerate dummies, lost delusional motherfuckers. Jerry one of these old ass dummies. So Jerry been around spewing out dumb shit. Jerry like what, in almost 60 and shit, and just say dumb shit. Jerry come from a time. Jerry probably around this old segregationist ass shit. Jerry old enough to where when he was coming up, they started integrating schools and shit, and his parents probably didn't like that shit. Jerry been around when fucking white and black water fountains. This the shit, especially we got so many foreigners in this country who don't realize this is American history. This is the sick nature of what America was. But America want to talk about, you get dumb niggas like Jerry talking about America fighting for freedoms over in foreign fucking countries. Through throwing bombs in their motherfucking land talking about fighting for freedom. Nigga, you stupid. These motherfuckers think because black people have knocked down all the fucking little white racist shit throughout the years, and then they'll move and create some more new shit, formulate some new shit. Now, the fact that they've been getting their ass kicked by us throughout the years, you know, the last motherfucking effort they did was going down in South America and pushing them drugs in this motherfucker. Whooped their ass in the Civil War, whooping their ass during slavery on the plantations, whooping their ass during that civil rights era, and then bam, they hit us with dope. And then guess what happened? The dope's now kicking their ass. Ask Jerry, his parents went through it. Dope fiend ass meth head motherfuckers out the mountains of Appalachian, the cities of urban America, in the suburbs of America, in the rural areas of America, where the drugs have now hit their asses when that bomb was dropped on us. Jerry. And keep that cancer hope and Jerry ass alive. But that's all I got. Fuck Jerry and fuck Trump. I'm out. Peace. I'll be back later.